the West Bengal election campaign, sir, the BJP did not even care about the people's lives, and it conducted campaigns continuously.
Sir, it's not
Even
only
though actually
BJP.
I would like to oppose the point. Election Commission is an independent body appointed to look forward to the conducting
It is
of
a
the
sheer
elections.
failure of the Election Commission of West
and
Bengal.
does not relate to the government, does not relate to the union government. Union government will not take any responsibility of the elections that are being held in the West Bengal. That is the Election Commission's fault, not being postponing the elections in the West Bengal, sir.
No, but the people's lives, you need to care about their lives, right? You
Yes,
can't
sir,
directly just
That is
do a campaign.
That is why the Election Commission is being appointed, sir. We have the Chief Election Commissioner. What did the Chief Election Commissioner do when there is an election in the West Bengal, sir?
It was the fault of the Election Commission, sir. The ruling party has nothing to do with the Election Commission.
Sir, can you please repeat? Yes, I was, sir, I was out due to internet fluctuations. Can you please repeat your statement?
Not a problem. Yes, sir. The ruling party say the opposition leaders who are connected with terrorist activities now blame the BJP and ruling party of not controlling COVID-19.
They even had their own.
Sir, what are the terrorist activities, sir?
Terrorist activities in 2014, sir. Mr. Modi, you may explain.
Yes, sir. There was an NGO, sir, when the Congress party was ruling. There was an NGO which was led by George Soros, and they were funding the NGO, sir. The government, the taxpayers' money was going to the NGO, sir. And the NGO was led by George Soros, who had links with the Pakistani terrorist organization, which is ISIS. And he even met the Pakistani Prime Minister one day before the Pulwama attacks. Sir.
Oh,
it's not completely a coincidence, sir. It will not be, and it is not a coincidence, sir.
I would like to also give importance and provide activities is being opposition party, sir.
No, he mentioned about meeting for the is actually wrong. He mentioned meeting
is diverting the agenda, sir.
No, it's about diverting the agenda. Narendra Modi have started.
We gave the supporting statements and asked the explanation, sir, and that is the diversion of the agenda, sir.
No, because you are not explaining your point. So we need to, we need to counter your points. We need to mention about your point.
About the central government.
Debate is not by countering, sir. Debate must be affixed to the agenda.
Everything is linked.
Because your way is wrong.
Sir, how is it linked, sir? Can you please tell how is it linked?
Mr. Modi, please explain.
Yes, sir. Sir, can you please rephrase your question?
Sir, how is it linked to the agenda, sir? What you mentioned, the terrorist thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I clearly explain it to you, sir, provided time. The opposition parties have fueled the Punjab farmers' riots, sir, which was, they were revolting for nothing, sir, for no cause. The revolt was of no cause, sir. It is continuing till now, sir. And
sir, it was due to the violation.
Sir, please let me complete. The Indian government has clearly withdrew the farmers' bill in the last week of December 2020, sir, and it will not be implemented. It will not be implemented. For 18 months, sir. It will be implemented only after a trial in the Supreme Court, sir. So
this is what is linked to what we've said before, sir.
The Indian opposition parties are leading an anti-national movement, sir, and these are some of the proofs that the Indian oppositions are having an anti-national forces.
That
These are just
also
the proofs
falls
of
on
it,
the
sir.
role of the opposition, sir. Role of the opposition stated by the constitution. That also is against the constitution rights, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
again, you blame the union government for not taking the control of the COVID crisis. You support in the spread of the COVID crisis, and you ask us to take measures of the COVID crisis. And there are anyone to justify the statement? Mr. Gandhi, the leader of the opposition, please do respond. Or Mr. Thackeray, any views on the statements? Delegates, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think they're having issues.
Oh, then all the opposition leaders had an issue one at a time. Mr. Gandhi,
Sir, I have got another information, sir. The name of
Sir, can you, sir,
name of the
sorry for the constant
sir,
fluctuation.
please let us speak, sir. Mr. Gandhi, please let us speak and convey
Sir,
the
Sir, can you
statements.
repeat?
Sir,
Sir,
I have
I
another
couldn't.
information,
this-
sir.
That is what I was telling, sir. Mr. Modi is speak now. Please give him chance. You
Sir,
may speak.
I have
Okay.
another information about it. The NGO run by George Soros, which was seized by the Indian government in 2019, the name of it was Open Society Foundation, sir. They was funded by the Congress government in 2014 from the taxpayers' money, sir. They had no idea what's happening with it, sir. I have got the information. I've got the information, sir. It was Open Society Foundation.
Sir,
sir, the
sorry,
NGO, the name of
but
it.
so
Yes,
sorry,
sir.
but it's a debate about COVID crisis, not about NGO or
You
anything, sir.
asked for an explanation when we
It's
as
just a
responsibility,
proof, sir.
the sole responsibility to justify the statement is on us, sir. That is why we have given the
The
statement.
recording has stopped.
Because it's about Rahul Gandhi, so Rahul Gandhi, can you answer it because it was Congress, not us.
Sir, I
We
asked you-
are not to divert on the agenda, so it is on the agenda.
Yes,
Yes, sir, what about
Was that
Kumbh Mela was the source of COVID pandemic.
that
Yes,
was
sir.
state government UP.
Central government of which is nothing.
Yes, I would like to clarify. That is
I would like to
what
opposition
Yes,
side.
yes,
So I want to start a point which will say this those are under all of that and which will tell me wasn't ever been and that was due to lockdown and everyone was not any not even allowed the Brahmos.
So you prove the option happened. This is the first step. Muslims have met Delhi. What made them into this situation?
Why did you actually
So what actually allowed that to happen? If something happens, something happens to was there meet and widespread COVID-19, of course.
Sir.
And so and now again it happened because of the so of course like you said, Pradesh, it's BJP ruling. So why didn't you actually stop? You're saying it's a secular country. Of course it is a secular country, I accept it, but still the situations are not at all good. So you can't keep people's lives like that. Of course the worship and all, I accept that. But still the situations are not good, so you can't allow that to happen. And you
Yes,
didn't
sir.
take any action against that. You didn't take any action against that, and you've just let it happen.
We should not
And
talk here about
that
religion.
exactly.
So please change the point. No
Sir,
talking
sorry?
about religions. Sorry,
We have the
it's
justifying statements. Mr. Modi, you may speak.
sorry, it's
sir. Does-
it's
No, no, I didn't
going
call- you
into the
didn't-
religious topics. It's
Sir, I have a
going into the
question for
religious
Dr.
topics.
No, it's not about religious. Sir,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not about religious. It's the
Yeah.
way the government just
Tackle the
left the
COVID
things
crisis.
aside.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We have a question towards you.
Sir, I have a question for our
Say
delegate.
the answer
Mr.
to
Uddhav
our question,
Thackeray.
then we will answer your question. Please say the answer for our question.
Yes, sir. It was we who asked the first question, so you should answer the question, and then you could ask us,
Sir.
and we will answer it for sure.
Yes, sir. During the time of Kumbh Mela, sir, it was the number of cases in India was on a steady decline, and we
But
allowed
do
the
you
Kumbh
know?
Mela-
But do you
Sir,
know
please
after the
let me
Kumbh
complete.
Mela?
Sir, please
Please
me
let us
complete.
answer.
Sir, we approved Kumbh Mela to take place with all the safety regulations, sir.
Well,
And
however,
it's-
they didn't take anything. Well, however,
We
they didn't take
educated-
anything. There is
sir,
nothing
we-
monitoring
sir,
them.
How
Sir,
could
There is
you
no
say they
association
didn't
monitoring
take
them.
anything, sir? How could you
Sir,
just
and
say they
even
didn't
during
take
the
anything?
Kumbh Mela, they
Because
were
we
not
saw
wearing
the
masks, sir.
visuals. There are visuals.
Yes, sir.
There are visuals showing
Okay.
Sir,
that.
if you, sir,
Okay.
sir,
Any
if
proof?
you,
Any
could you
proof on
please,
floor?
yes, sir, yes, sir. Could you please allow us to share the screen, sir? We would share the screen.
Okay. Yeah.
You can share.
1 minute, sir. 1 minute.
All the safety protocols were taken, and Muslims were given the same rights so as the Hindus.
Yes, sir. I accept. There is no.
Going to the slums, and they
No,
asked
the-
our government.
The center.
Our government,
The center did not support us. We are in economic crisis, and the center did not give us money, and it did not even support us with ventilators at the proper time.
do
At
you
the proper
have any
time.
proof
I'm mentioning
to
that. I'm mentioning that.
To support
I'm mentioning
this, sir?
that.
Do you have any proof to support this? We have given liquid medical oxygens to Maharashtra because it was affected by COVID. That is why we have so Maharashtra.
All right, sir. Liquid oxygen was there. Ventilators there. There need to be machines to supply the oxygen, right? Ventilators
sure,
push
sir,
the oxygen
sir.
into the person's body. We don't have the machines. And what happened was in the central government hospitals, some of the government hospitals run by the center. Of course, we know that state government hospitals are there, and even central government hospitals are there.
Yes,
And for
yes,
the central government hospitals, the ventilators were transported in a garbage truck. In a garbage truck. There are visuals. India Today have shown them. There are visuals that ventilators were transported in a garbage truck. So how
Yes,
can
sir.
you justify that? That is
Sir,
a
sir,
pathetic
one more thing,
situation.
sir. Sir, this is the proof
Sir,
for
let
Kumbh
us
Mela.
answer.
Just,
Sir, please let us answer.
sir, 1
No,
minute, sir.
please
You
let us
told me
answer.
to show.
Mr.
You told me to
Kejriwal,
show
please let
the-
us answer.
You already allowed Mr. Kejriwal to show the visuals. You already allowed
Yes.
Mr.
And
Kejriwal. So let him.
you interrupted in the middle. So what do we have to answer first?
Because you
First,
asked about Maharashtra
first see the
situation.
visuals.
I have
Yes,
to
sir.
answer.
Sir, if the central government, you say if the central government is a failure, what did the state government do? Take the measures to control the COVID crisis. Sir, this is an ambience. This is not where you see the private videos here.
4,000
So,
coronavirus infections in
please.
the last 24
So,
hours.
it
Yet
was an ad,
look
sorry.
at
It
these
was an
pictures
ad.
that my colleague Akshay Dongre
It
has
was
sent
this.
us from the
Okay, not a
Mahakumbh
problem.
in Haridwar, clearly undeterred by the exponential rise
Sir,
in
NDTV
COVID-19
is
infections
supporting
and
the
deaths across
opposition
the
party
country.
and says
The Kumbh Mela
only things
continues
that are
unabated
negative to the
in,
BJP, sir.
Haridwar
And how
today.
could
Sir,
you
but-
believe that
Heard
No,
the
no, that
arguments
is
from
how
Maharashtra
can-
one.
Sir, the
I'm,
visuals
so, I'm
are
sorry.
different.
I'm sorry. How can you say that? how can I say it is supporting? So if someone, if a news report shows against you, so you say it's supporting the opposition party and it's doing something
I did
negative to
not
you.
mean, I
Is
did
that
not
what?
mean it was against my side, sir.
No,
The safety
no, it was
protocols were taken
against
there.
the ruling party side.
Because there are so many people absolutely.
Sir, actually, sir,
See,
the
sir,
visuals are
there's a woman wearing mask. We could see the visual there.
But only those two people. Only those two people.
Sir, see the river,
See the
sir.
other-
Anyone were not wearing mask. Very crowded river, sir. Very crowded river.
Together. Why not here?
Okay.
I think the benefits will be bigger than
Let's watch the
contamination.
video.
आप बताइए किसी प्रकार का डर यहाँ पर लोगों में
I
कोविड
think
का
so. That was enough because.
And you say any news against us when we oppose the statements by the countering, you say that we support, we are against the parties, right? We are against the TV shows.
So,
I didn't mention that. I didn't mention that.
You are
Sir,
stating
Sir,
that. You are
actually, he
stating
didn't
that.
mention that you.
No, because
Okay,
because
okay,
you are
okay.
telling.
Mr. Modi,
He just
Mr. Modi,
told that
the
you
floor
can't
is
say
to
that
you.
they are against you.
Mr. Modi,
No,
I have
you-
a
no.
statement to you.
I have a statement, sir. Mr. Delegate Uttam Shakri has told ventilators and oxygen tankers were supplied in garbage trucks, right, sir? Was that the statement, sir?
Yes, sir. There was a visual shown by India Today, and I'm sorry, I don't have it actually right now, but it's actually there.
Was that the
I guess I
statement,
need to
sir?
search it. But there was a visual shown by India Today that once ventilators were transported in a garbage truck.
meeting is being
Yes, sir.
recorded.
Yes, sir. India, okay, sir. The time limit, I think it's getting over.
Yeah,
I'll
less
give
than
the
1
answer.
minute.
I'll give the
I
answer
think
in the
this is
next
the
session, sir.
lunch break time.
So at 12 o'clock, we'll give at 1 o'clock or so. Not a problem. We'll continue the debate. So please do exit this session and do join it again. Neither end the meeting.
Yes.
So yes, sir. If Uddhav Thackeray joins in, we have the answer.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
This meeting is being recorded.
Yes, sir. We have received a call from Asaduddin. He's being coming. Hello, delegates. Am I audible?
Audible, sir.
Yeah. So, there are any delegates who want to raise a motion, or do you want to continue the debate? Delegates, Mr. Gandhi, Mr. Kejriwal.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Do you have any other points to oppose the ruling party or so? Mr. Asaduddin OIC. Sir, this is not a session of looking each other's face virtually. So please do speak something. Okay, if they are not there's nothing to speak. Um, there are 10 seconds to speak, or the executive board will ask for a motion. Count of 10.
9.
Sir,
Yes, Mr. Gandhi.
sir, some of the questions are not yet answered, sir.
Some of the questions, all of the questions are answered, sir.
Sir, no, sir.
So you
That's wrong.
counter the question and you extend the time, and there'll be no other debate issues. So raise a point and we'll give your factual statements, sir.
Sir,
Or
okay,
do
sir.
you want to do you want to go into the moderated caucus on oxygen prices? Let's go. Let's debate over there.
Yes, sir. Let's debate out there, sir.
Okay. I raise my hand to raise a motion. Okay.
Yeah,
The floor is
supported.
open.
No,
The
no.
floor is open for motions. So please raise your hands. If since there are no other things like no other points in the debate, we
There
give the
are
chance
points, sir.
and debate, sir.
Sir, you
Okay.
didn't still speak about
Okay,
the
sir.
migrant laborers.
The debate session. The debate session is the time of the debate session as proposed by Mr. Modi. I think was given half an hour or 45 minutes. Sir. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Right, sir. Mr. Modi, he proposed it for 30 minutes or so.
You
Yes,
cannot
sir.
say
It
that,
was, it was 45 minutes.
No, sir.
It was a 45 minutes debate, sir. So 45 minutes is complete. Now no, there are no other motions. We'll ask for a motion. So any delegates who want to raise a motion?
Narendra Modi has been recognized.
You could also raise a motion of extension of time, sir. That is also
Yes,
given.
Yes, sir.
According to the motion
Narendra
only
Modi,
will be.
the delegate Narendra Modi wants to raise a motion with the prior permission of the executive board to end the debate session and start the moderated caucus session on the topic oxygen prices.
I support.
Delegates for the motion. Removing the technical team, we have we have the motion being equally representative. So are there any other motions? Yeah, seems like it is being supported. The
Sir,
motion is being,
I'd like to raise a motion, sir.
okay. You may proceed.
Sir, with the prior permission of the executive board, I'd like to raise a motion for the extension of time of another 45 minutes for the debate.
No supportive things to the motion seems and might be rejected. On a count of 10. Seems like no other delegate, executive board hand raises will not be taken into consideration. Seems like no other delegate is interested to debate. Okay, you may rephrase your motion with less time. Let's see if all the delegates are interested to
Yes, sir.
participate.
Sir, the extension of time of 30 minutes.
Delegates for the motion? No. This clearly resembles no other delegate other than Mr. Gandhi is now interested to continue the debate. The debate is not being passed. Okay. Any other motions on the floor? Please raise your hands. Please raise your hands to raise a motion.
Yeah, no. Narendra Modi has
Been
recognized.
So I would like to raise a motion. Narendra Modi wants to raise a motion with the prior permission of the executive board to end the debate session and start the moderated caucus session on the topic oxygen crisis.
For the time period also to be mentioned, sir.
For the time period of half an hour, and each
Half an
delegate
hour.
getting 5 minutes each.
There are no much delegates here, sir, so you could reduce the time limit.
Okay, sir. For the time being of 15 minutes, and each delegate. I'm sorry, sir. How many delegates are on the floor right now? Can we
1, 2, 3, and 4.
Four delegates, sir.
4 delegates.
So I'd like to have a moderated caucus session for 12 minutes with each delegate getting 3 minutes each.
The motion is clearly raised, and the delegates who support the motion may raise their hands now. Yeah, clearly it got the majority of the voting. So the the motion raised by Mr. Modi is being passed now. Delegates, the floor is open to the moderated caucus. You may give your moderated caucus speech now. So please start. Yeah. Delegates, you may speak in the moderated caucus session. Delegates, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You
Yes,
may
sir.
you may start the moderated caucus session. Mr. Gandhi.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
India floated a global tender for the supply of 50,000 metric tons of liquid medical oxygen last week. In the in the last month. In the present context, it may be considered a good decision to avoid running out of the required stock. However, the given spike of in spread of COVID-19, its high positivity rate and increasing need of oxygen, even this quantity may not be sufficient for our rising requirement. We may need faster import of this precious commodity in more quantities. Russia and China have offered to help India in this regard. which India should be ready to accept without hesitation in the present circumstances. We have issues with China, but for the time being, India should not make it a prestige issue and should not decide against the offer of supply of LMAO because we urgently need it to save our people. India will have enough time to resolve the outstanding issues with China once the devastation by the pandemic is over. May be required to import the liquid medical oxygen in large quantities for a long time to come, and therefore the government must have a plan of action ready for short and long term requirements. India is not in the position to afford any criminal neglect of the requirement of oxygen in India, such as we have seen in the past. One of them is India's export of oxygen amidst the pandemic during April 2020 to January 2021 to tune the 9,884 metric tons industrial grade oxygen as against only 4,500 metric tons in 2019 to 20. Even 12 metric tons medical grade of oxygen was exported during the pandemic, which is shocking. Modi government took over, Mr. Narendra Modi's government took over a year to ban export of oxygen, which is now being implemented from April 20 to 2021. We lost many lives due to the non-availability of oxygen in our hospitals. Had the government maintained the stock by not exporting oxygen, many lives would have been saved. India could not depend on imports of such a precious commodity in the present scenario because there will be a risk of it being blocked by the exporting countries if it's locally required. Therefore, the only solution may be to enhance the production of the medical grade oxygen domestically. Roughly 8 months ago, there was the first oxygen crisis, and many people died due to it. Even then, the central government of India didn't take the respective measures. And now, 6 months prior, it is announcing the construction of oxygen plants which are still under construction and not into which are still under construction and not under work. So I'd like to conclude.
Any points of information? Okay, Mr. Kejriwal, you may speak now.
Thank you, sir. Sir, this is Arvind Kejriwal, and this is nothing but the oxygen price of India, mod Congress topic. So, oxygen price in India. It's not a very new for India because oxygen crisis is being faced from 3 to 4 months, and nearly due to oxygen crisis, 5,000 deaths. Nearly 5,000 deaths were being nearly due to oxygen crisis, because if there was oxygen, that 5,000 lives would be now. And the oxygen plants which were under construction will I think will be under construction till the pandemic be over, because there was not it was not coming into a process. The oxygen which were oxygen tankers which were sent by the government in the highways were being stopped when they were going to the hospitals near the checkposts, and many of the metric tons of oxygen is being supplied is being not sufficient for the our Indians. And I want to ask the government question that uh, how uh, how they could arise and arise about this oxygen crisis, and how they could work on this to get the oxygen crisis under control to the Indian government.
Okay, any point of information on the floor? Okay, then Mr. Modi, you may continue to speak.
Yes. India amidst the oxygen crisis has done its best, has given its best shot to control the oxygen, to make sure that oxygen availability is a need for India. India has approached 40 countries, 40 countries in the world for the supply of oxygen, and they've got 550 oxygen generating plants, 4,000 concentrators, 10,000 cylinders in month of April alone. India has got 700 oxygen cylinders from Ireland and concentrators which were worth of 5 crores. The Operation Samudra Setu has sent 9 naval ships all across the world to bring across 23,000 oxygen containers and 10,000 rapid antigen tests. And the countries like Bahrain, Qatar, and Singapore uh, gave we've got across around 50 aircrafts from the countries like Bahrain, Qatar, and Singapore with 20,000 of oxygen containers and 20,000 oxygen containers and 450 PPE kits, which is a rather large amount. And India has also sanctioned 202 crores to build 500 oxygen plants across the world, out of which around 272 are now functioning, are correctly functioning. And India has also appointed 2 officers for an oxygen plant to make sure that the uh, oxygen is given in the right amount to all the hospitals in which they were prescribed. They made sure that oxygen was not sold in black market, and they made sure it was all under the supervision of the collector and joint collector of the district. I'd like to yield the remaining of my time to comments.
Any comments by any delegates on the floor? Mr. Gandhi, you have been recognized.
Sir, a point of information.
Yes, you may proceed.
Sir, what there were 2 officers to ensure that there was no oxygen sold in black. Unquote. They are still selling oxygen in black.
So, how do you prove your statement, Mr. Gandhi?
Sir, there are many news channels telling that, sir.
News channels, media reports, news channels, and all other media reports are considered official.
Sir, if possible, even
You didn't anything about analysis, sir.
I'm not talking about the unofficial and official sources.
Sir, I forgot to add a point, sir. The number of plants, the print.in is an official journaling agency, sir, which has taken the number of oxygen plants which were functioning. The print.in was the journal agency which has done the reports, sir. And regarding the black market, all of every single oxygen cylinder which was taken from the oxygen plant was under the control of district collector and the collector. So oxygen cylinders being transported to the black markets. every single oxygen cylinder taken needs to be approved by the joint collector and the collector. So before the hospitals get it to them. And there's constant check of audit in the oxygen plants to make sure that the officers for each plant are acting are doing their duties faithfully.
Mr. Gandhi, okay, do you have any proof that oxygen is being sold in the black market? So you please send it in the WhatsApp group.
So, so in order for the next topic of the moderated caucus, we need Mr. Gupta.
Yeah, but he's not present here. Since all the topics are completed, if the delegates want to suspend the committee, they may raise a motion. Since all the debate sessions and general speakers list and the moderated caucus topics are being completed by all the delegates with the active participation with all the delegates. So if nothing is left over on the floor, you may raise a motion to suspend the meeting. So there'll not be another session in the afternoon since all the discussed topics in the WhatsApp group are completed now. That is why I have been posting in the WhatsApp group, raise some moderated caucus topics so as to extend the committee for a whole day. But no other delegate is interested to raise moderated topics. That is why we have said one topic. So inevitably the session will be short duration. So I think all the topics have been covered in this session. If any other topics who want to raise may do it in the second session or may suspend the meeting. That is will and wish upon the delegates. You may want to raise a motion to continue the meeting until the end with some topics, or you may suspend the meeting now. So are there any motions on the floor? Please raise your hands now.
Narendra Modi has been recognized.
Yes, sir. The delegate Narendra Modi wants to raise a motion with prior permission of the executive board to suspend the meeting since there are no topics left to discuss in the moderated caucus. And the number of delegates in participation has also decreased to a point that only 3 delegates have to discuss amongst themselves.
Sorry for the motion. Lower all your hands now. Okay, now delegates who want to propose a motion or who want to raise the same motion, like want to support the motion, please raise your hands. Seems like there is a majority of people voting for the motion. Okay. Okay, then
Sir, I think there should be an extension, sir.
So then raise a motion, sir.
Sir, I already raised my hand, but the executive board didn't recognize me, sir.
Okay, sir. So what are the topics that are to be discussed amongst yourselves, sir?
That is what, sir, the debate topics. That I wanted the extension on.
Okay, the extension of okay. Okay.
Of the executive board, I take another extension of a debate for 30 minutes.
Delegates who are willing to support the motion, please raise your hands now. On a count of 10. Seems like the delegate supports this motion. Since Mr. Modi's motion has received 2 votes, that is majority of the votes, we pass the motion and all the proceedings of the committee suspend, and this came in session 2021 is suspended now. Yes, it was big traction. Very debated and with great this gives great out to learn. Many of them are with many other topics on this of this debate. It is a great thing. Thank you, thank you. Okay, if any delegate have feedback, they may raise your hands. Board it's a terrific task of deciding who is the best delegate now. This delegate of suicidally very well. Okay, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, you have been recognized.
Sir, right for permission of the executive, but
Meeting is suspended, sir. We just talk formally.
sir, it was nice chatting with everyone, sir. It was a very great debate for me, and I could learn many things which will for you for the debates would be after. It was a very good one, and for the preparation of mine was a very good task because I searched for a very good. I searched, and I even because of searching, I even got a very much what's AMU and what's going on in the India about COVID and about what's the present situation and how it would be. I'm very much thankful, Chair and Vice Chair, for connecting a very such a very good one, which could enhance the students, which could enhance us for our future. Thank you, Executive Board. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
More other debates like this, more other MUNs like the members. So, Narendra Modi, okay.
Yes, sir. Okay. I'd really like to thank the executive board first, for conducting such a great MUN. And in addition, giving the people an MUN experience. I think for most of the people here, most of the delegates and the team over here are having their first time. Yes, sir. It's very. The explanation of the MUN was very great, sir.
Thank you. And your interaction with other delegates was also very great and needs appreciation to all the delegates thank you. And Mr. Gandhi.
I'd like to tell everyone that it is prohibited for the executive board to speak about it, but even knowing the fact, I let it because none of them are speaking.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is also the executive board opposites the delegates for interrupting in the debate. So, the delegate is actually prohibited.
No need to apologize.
It was actually the rules of procedure. The executive board must not intervene in the election of the delegates while there is going on. Since there is no
contribution, it was great for your contribution.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. We thought these two are the main role in the and they support Mr. Modi. The two delegates are being wished it was the executive board to intervene and support a one-man show.
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you all. Thank you.
Sir, actually, it would be a one-man show. I thought so because there were leaders for the there were no other opposition.
That is the irony of the situation. That is the irony.
Then actually people started and
yes, that is easier in the ruling party because the ruling party you have to show and prove the evidence with the statements. And it was an experience to have you on the floor. And actually, frankly speaking, BJP government is a great failure. BJP government is a great failure in the world of tackling over.
But during the fluctuations and all, I couldn't raise anything, sir. And the debate got ended. I asked for extension and voted.
Yeah. But like saddest was Gandhi to raise something. Actually, there are many other points to party. Many other points. Actually, Kume was the which we had no answer.
You are moving and others were also moving with that.
Yes, that was the
it's like that when we have no answer, we have to divert the topic. All the other delegates are muted.
When you were diverting and I was not
who came in the opposition, Mr. Modi was a stable hand with many other evidences. He proved with many other evidences like a state operation was a great thing done by Modi's government. But at the end of the period, when all the mistakes have happened with all the now what's the use of elections? BJP government is basically greatly and supporting and not like Modi is really fantastic.